Recently decided to hang up his silks. But as Tim Wharton discovered, the Sport of Kings hasn't loosened its grip entirely on the likeable Lair. Johnston intent on continuing his love affair with racing via a different avenue.
Racing means a great part of my life. It means virtually everything. It's been my life. It's all I've ever known. It's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever loved and really lived for.
The simple words of Malcolm Johnston reflect the passion he has for the Sport of Kings, racing dominating his life for over 20 years, a way of life that he'll always maintain in some form or other.
I'd have to say at 15 years of age when I came down to the stables, I knew straight away that I wanted to do it and that I was going to enjoy it. I really loved the game and I loved horses.
Racing! And over near the inside, Sunstone began well from Valley of Georgia and bit of a stride going fast from Arbor Shane.
It didn't take long for the tiny kid from Forbes to rise to prominence in the big smoke, winning the 1975-76 Sydney Jockeys Premiership as an apprentice, and then 3 years later claiming the first of his many Group 1 victories, the 1979 Caulfield Cup on board Mighty Kingdom.
Mighty Kingdom clear with 50 metres to go, and Mighty Kingdom's going to win the Caulfield Cup. Quarry Symbol flashing home's going to run second, Sunstone third.
Mighty Kingdom was the first of many great horses that Johnston became associated with over the years. But the one that stood out was the Big Black, Kingston Town. Mal and the King reigning supreme for 5 years.
But the real Kingston Town's going to street them, and Kingston Town's gone on to win by 4 lengths. Second, Prince Ruling, Al Paddy Boy third.
He was like a partner. He was like a friend. He was like a brother that you see nearly every day. I used to go to the track every day, and he was the first horse I rode, so I got to know him very, very well, and it was special because I knew how good he was, and I just loved the association, and it went on for such a long time, which was great. But it was disappointing when he was out for a spell going to the track, because you grew a sort of a bond, and you really looked forward to renewing that as partnership every day.
And as they run to the 300, Johnston says, "Come on, King, let's go." And Kingston Town raced away. Past the 200, Kingston Town 3 in front of Polo Player, Mr. Independent, and then Shogun. But $136,000 staring Connections at Kingston Town on the face. Kingston Town racing away from Mr. Independent.
Sadly, it wasn't all glory for Johnston. His career littered with numerous disappointments and frustrations. Apart from serving 56 suspensions, the veteran jockey was also the victim of a bashing in Malaysia. And then there was financial disaster, when Johnston was sued for $250,000 after an incident involving another rider in the 1978 Wyong Cup.
It was a disappointing thing that happened, and it was very, very hard. When you'd virtually lost a substantial amount of money like I had, it did keep surfacing, and it knocked me about more than people knew.
Despite the setbacks, Johnston has bounced back each time. But for the last few years, the man known as the likeable Lair began to lose his smile as he found it more and more difficult to engage a ride.
Whereas years ago you used to just sit back and wait for the phone to ring. It really doesn't happen anymore. You've got to really work hard and be tough off a race course to secure good rides, and in that department I fell down, and I really give up.
Off and running, good start. Carla Max and Kirribilli near the inside began well. Clever Victory quickly into stride, followed by Take Issue.
After much soul-searching, Johnston finally decided to call it quits. mounting up for the last time at Royal Randwick with a 3-year-old gelding called Zaremba.
Mighty Mal on Zaremba. He's a length in front of Carla Max. Irish Joke on the outside. Zaremba kicking. Carla Max is the danger. Carla Max is coming at him now. Zaremba, Carla Max, they're coming to the line. Absolutely locked together. Rotten luck, Mal.
It may not have been the fairy tale end that Miracle Mal wanted, but the punters didn't let him down.
Give it to him, boy. Ray deserves it.
I'd never had a reception like that. It was like winning a Cox Plate or a Sydney Cup or Doncaster or an Epsom or something like that. It was like winning a group race. The reception I got when I came back for running second, I couldn't believe it. But it was, you know, it was a day I'll never ever forget. And it's a day I'll really cherish.
So if you could wind back the clock, would you do it all over again?
Yes, I would. And because I can honestly say, I don't want to be remembered as the best jockey to have ever graced this turf in Australia, because I know I wasn't. I'm a very realistic sort of person. I just want to be remembered as someone who absolutely lived for the game, loved the game, and enjoyed the game.
Hey, Jules. Good, mate. How are you? Is Reg ring? Yeah.
While he won't be racing again, Johnston hasn't finished his association with the sport, turning his attention to a new tipping service, appropriately called Equus Turf.
Hello, mate.
So Mal, will the Miracle Tag continue for you in your new career?
Well, mate, we started last weekend, and we had a very, very good run last weekend. So the Miracle Tag's still there. Wait till something goes wrong and we don't be as lucky as what we were last week, getting winners. I hope it never happens. But then I'll get someone on the phone rubbing the Miracle Tag off.
Confidence, Malcolm Johnston, so you'd back him in to tip a few winners over the next few months. A break and